Hey, what's up everybody? It's Axel here, and today we're going to be talking about the Snowsky Echo Mini, which is this device that you see right here. This is an entry-level high-res portable music player from Snowsky, which is a FiiO sub-brand. This device has balanced output, has Bluetooth, has a retro-inspired design, and comes in at around $50. So let's check it out. So let's start by talking about what comes in the box. The unboxing experience is super straightforward. What you get is, of course, the Echo Mini player, a quick start guide, and a USB-C to Type-A cable. And that's it. And that's all you need. No unnecessary extras, just the essentials. Let's talk about the build and the design. This is how the Snowsky Echo Mini looks like. It has, these retro vibes with a modern twist. It's got that classic tape player aesthetic, especially when you power it on. And it's available in 3 colors. I chose the cyan for myself when I ordered it. And the device feels very solid. Despite being lightweight, it's actually very solid. It weighs exactly 28.5 grams, and it's so portable that you can barely notice it in your hand or in your pocket, which makes it perfect for on-the-go use. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that this battery cover-looking design is actually just for show. I tried opening it, it doesn't open. This is just purely aesthetic. So keep that in mind. So let's look at how it looks like and the buttons and stuff like that. On the back, you do get 4 screws. And you do get the Snowsky logo. And on the left side, you do get a micro SD slot, a USB-C port, and a lanyard hole. On the right side, you do get a 3.5 millimeter single-ended, 4.4 balanced output, plus a reset hole. And on the top, you do get 6 buttons. The one on the left is, of course, the power button, and it turns on the display on and off. You do get volume adjustment buttons right here, which they also function as skipping tracks. They go to the previous track and the next track. You do get the play and pause button. You do get the menu button, and you do get the back button. On the front, you do get a 2-inch IPS display with 5 levels of adjustable brightness. It actually looks very clear, and even outdoors, out in the sun, it looks clear. And if you look at it from angles, it's still very clear to me. So everything here is functional and straightforward. Buttons are tactile. They have this click. Now, let's talk first about the firmware update, because I updated the firmware of this device. And one cool thing about it is that upgrading the firmware is super easy. I just downloaded the file from the FiiO website, and then I connected this device by USB-C. It is seen on the PC like a USB flash drive. And what I did is I downloaded the file, unzipped it, took the one single file inside, drag and dropped it, and then I disconnected it and I turned it on. That's it. So what happened is that they added features to the device like high gain, low gain, and stuff like that. And FiiO is always, in my opinion, great with long-term software support. They always add features and stuff like that. So who knows, maybe in future updates, the device could become even better. In terms of Bluetooth, this device supports SBC, which is fine for basic wireless playback, and it functions as a Bluetooth transmitter. It's not a receiver, so you can use this to transmit Bluetooth. For example, I connected it to a TWS, which is my Tangent Mino. It worked well, though wired playback definitely sounded better. Like, it's shocking. For $50, you get Bluetooth at least. It's shocking. But for some reason, they say it doesn't work with Apple headphones. I'm not entirely sure why. I played it with my Tangent Mino. It sounded good. It didn't quite match the quality of the player itself, or maybe I'm using better IMs with it, which are wired. But hey, for $50, getting Bluetooth on top of everything else is just kind of crazy. All right, so let's power the device on. And this is the screen that you get. This thing just powers up fast, done, boom. So one thing I love about that is that you can turn it on and off quickly, which is pretty convenient. Here is the main display. On the left, you have the volume steps on the top left, which you can see. And on the right, there's the battery indicator. A few options are displayed as well. If you leave it idle for a few seconds, the screen shows the date and time, which I haven't adjusted mine yet. After that, the screen dims. To wake it up, you need to press the power button. And the other buttons still work, but when the screen is off, but they won't wake the screen. So leave it alone for a while and the device will automatically shut off, though you can adjust the timeout settings in the settings itself. Now, let me move on here And this is the file browser, as you can see. So I'm using here the play and pause to enter. And if you enter here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is the file browser. This allows you to navigate the files that you stored on the Echo Mini itself or on the micro SD card that you have. And as you can see here, you can navigate the folder, navigate the tracks, and so on. Here you can delete single files. For example, if I go here or I go here and I press this menu button, you can see delete file. But you cannot delete like folders by itself, from the device itself. So it's always a good idea to organize your music and folders before transferring them to the device. All right, so we saw the file browser. Let's move on here to the second option, which is the playlist. Now, the playlist, if you click here, what this will allow you to do is it lets you play music based on your favorites, based on the artists, based on the albums or genres, or even the folders, or all the tracks that are stored on the Echo Mini. So I'll give you a handy tip. In my opinion, you can create specific folders on the Echo Mini or the micro SD card itself using your PC. For example, you can create folders like for a hip-hop playlist or a soundtrack playlist, and then play music from those folders from here, So this is the playlist. And then we have the music playing screen. In here you can select the tracks you play. If I click here, you can see you can select the tracks. Again, it's similar to the playlist one, but allows you to choose based on the tracks, and not necessarily limited to the playlist options. Like you can choose all songs, and again, it's pretty similar actually. So there you go. And you can update it and stuff like that. And yeah, they're pretty similar. So let's move on to the music settings, which you can find here. And then we enter, no, this is the system settings. Yeah, this is the music settings. So number one is the volume limit. And this has 60 volume steps, so you can limit the volume that you're using. And then you get the option for repeat, and then you get the option of equalizer. You cannot use custom EQ. It has a few options that you can choose from. Then you get to choose the options of the filter, and then you can use gain adjustment, low gain, or high gain. I leave it at high gain. In my opinion, it sounds a bit better, so there you go. And then let's look at the system settings. And the first thing is the Bluetooth setting. And if you go on here, you can switch on the Bluetooth. It will turn on, and as you can see, maybe you cannot see that it has the Tangent Mino saved here. If I want it, let's turn it off. Done. Let's move on to the screen settings, and you do get an option for screen timeout and brightness. Then you get the shutdown settings with the power off timer, power saving shutdown. You can adjust the date and time. You can adjust the interface style, which has two themes. It comes with the midnight black, and I'm going to show you the elegant white. Probably you cannot see it. It's so bright. I prefer the midnight black. All right. And we have the language, information, music support for the files, and the limitations of the playback for the formats and the sample rates. And you get the reset all settings, format desk, format TF card. Let me show you when you play music, for example. Let's play this track. For example, this is how the device looks like. It always has these rotating cassette type thing, which gives it a retro look. And frankly, it looks awesome. There you go. You see the filter in the middle, you see the track information, and you can see the artist and the music playback. Now, you cannot fast forward the track or go a bit earlier in the music track and stuff like that. And that's maybe one limitation of the device. So you kind of have to listen to the track itself. Or maybe I didn't know. I didn't discover yet how to do that. So I'm just sharing with you what I found. All right, so let's talk now about the battery life. On the website, it says it's rated for 15 hours. I didn't test it fully, but I will tell you, I fully charged it, tested it over 2 days, 6 hours on the first day, another 6 hours on the second day. After that, it still had 1 bar of battery left, so probably it can hit the 15-hour marks like they say. And now let's talk about the DAC chip and the sound. This comes in with two Cirrus Logic 4313 DAC chips, which is super impressive. It has super low output impedance on both the single-ended and the balanced output, and the noise floor is almost non-existent. I couldn't hear any noise from either output with any sensitive IM, and I cannot hear any noises like popping noises or weird sounds when disconnecting or connecting different IMs or headphones to it. One thing I noticed is that the balanced output sounds slightly better than the single output. So if you have the right cable, if you have a balanced cable, I recommend definitely giving the balanced output a try. I think it's worth it. Now let's talk about the sound quality. This thing sounds amazing, like way better than you expect for the price. I loaded up some FLAC files here, and honestly, I was pretty shocked. For $50, wow. In my opinion, how does the sound signature sound like? I will describe it as a bit neutral bright, with a punchy, impactful low end and incredible detail and resolution. For the bass is tight, it's punchy, it's impactful, it has a strong slam, and it has a good texture. In terms of the mid-range, it's clear and transparent with great clarity. And in terms of the treble, it's very crisp and detailed without being harsh. The level of resolution, layering, separation, and detail this thing offers is just insane for $50. It's not on the level of something like the FIO A15. There's still a noticeable gap in detail, separation, stage and imaging specifically. But for $50, this is amazing, folks. This is a good sounding, music player. In terms of the power output, this has more than enough power for a lot of IMs. Like the single-ended output delivers like 130 milliwatts at 16 ohms and 100 milliwatts at 32 ohms, which is more than enough for most IMs. For example, to put this into perspective, I was using my Awful Performance 7, which is my daily driver, on high gain, and I'm only listening at 30 to 35 max out of the 60 volume steps. Like anything above 35 out of 60 on the single-ended output with the Performance 7 is painfully loud. The balanced output is even more impressive. It has 250 milliwatts at 32 ohms, meaning it can handle some headphones too. But just for IMs alone, I think this thing has more than enough power for most IMs out there. Now let's talk about limitations that I noticed with this device, because it's not perfect. So let's talk about the limitations. I will say number one, memory card support is capped at 256 gigabytes. So you can only use memory cards, I think, up to 256 gigabytes. I'm not sure what will happen if you use a 512 gigabyte card. Maybe it will partially read it. Maybe it will not work at all. But again, 256 gigabytes is more than plenty. So this is not a problem. Number two, it doesn't support NTFS. And again, this is easily solved. You can just format the card to FAT32, done. Number three, this one is not a USB DAC. So you can't use it as a dongle. This is purely a music player. And yeah, a Bluetooth transmitter at the same time. Number four, you can't delete folders directly on the device, and this is easy. You can manage it on a PC. Number five, playback is limited to 24 bits at 192 kilohertz for FLAC and DSD 256. And again, for me, that's more than plenty. As a matter of fact, 99% of the time, this is the only thing I will use. Again, Bluetooth is limited to SBC only. Again, this is a music player first and foremost, but if you want something with LDAC, there are better options out there. And one thing else which I noticed, you can't fast forward a track. Like you can't skip to a specific part of the track, or maybe I just haven't figured it out yet. So you play a music track, you have to play the whole track or something like that, or you have to go to another track. You can't skip to a specific part of the track. That is something. And of course, this is not, a full-blown DAB. You can't stream Spotify on it, but hey, $50, am I right? So for my use case, none of these things are a deal breaker. I just wanted a simple, high-quality, great-sounding music player with a long battery life, and this is exactly what the Echo Mini delivers. It does exactly what it's meant to do, which is high-quality offline music playback, and it does that really, really well. So to put things into perspective, let's do a few comparisons to kind of highlight and put things into perspective. So I will start first. I will compare it to the Retro Nano, which is from the same brand, Snowsky. And this device has like a removable battery, it has Bluetooth and stuff like that. I did a review on it. You can check it out if you want to know the full details. But let's talk about the sound quality, just the sound quality alone. The Echo Mini is cheaper, right, by $10, but it absolutely outshines the Retro Nano when it comes to the sound quality. I was a bit surprised. What do I mean by that? I mean, the Echo Mini has a stronger and more powerful low end. It has better detail retrieval. It has improved dynamics and more precise imaging. So when that happened, I noticed that. I thought maybe the Retro Nano sounds like that because of the Bluetooth or stuff like that. So just to be thorough, I connected the the Retro Nano, in wired mode, not just Bluetooth. And I compared them again, and still I feel that the Echo Mini sounds better. Yeah, it's cheaper, but the sound quality is better, in my opinion. As I said, the low end, the detail, the separation is just impressive. Now, in my opinion, still, the Retro Nano does have its advantages, and in my opinion, I prefer it for myself. It's just more versatile. For example, you can use the Retro Nano as a USB DAC with your PC, as a wired dongle to your phone, or as a Bluetooth DAC amp with LDAC. It also has customizable EQ settings, which is very convenient, in my opinion. Like, for example, you can add a bass shelf and save it on the device, use it with IMs that need a bass boost. Plus, the Retro Nano is compatible with the Theo app, so you can manage it from your phone. You can manage these settings, which is a handy feature. And it has, a removable battery. It has a microphone for calls, and it has playback control options like skipping tracks and stuff like that. Or if you connect it, you can use Spotify with it and skip tracks, like fast forward to a specific part of the track. So it's, in terms of just convenience and options and features and stuff like that, in my opinion, this is a bit more versatile. But when we are talking strictly about sound quality and which one is better, in my opinion, the Echo Mini sounds better, hands down. It's the winner. For me, I really enjoy both devices for different reasons. Like if I'm streaming or if I'm using Spotify, of course, I'm going to the Retro Nano. It's just so convenient. But the Echo Mini is just perfect and so convenient for offline music playback. Now, let's do another comparison, which is my personal DAP. This is the Theo JM21, which I use myself for my daily use. And by the way, I probably should do a review of this one. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a review of the JM21, if you have any questions about it. Let's talk about the sound quality, but even without talking about the sound quality, this device costs probably 4 times more, but it's in a completely different league. Like it's 2 steps above the Echo Mini in every category. You're not just paying for the sound quality with the JM21, in my opinion. You're paying for a lot of other features as well. You're paying for the touch screen, the Android OS, the internet connectivity, the LDAC for the Bluetooth. It transmits and receives Bluetooth. It has app support, and it's just so much more. But in terms of sound quality alone, the JM21 does sound a lot better when it comes to detail, separation, clarity, layering, even soundstage and imaging is just much more impressive, and it's 2 steps above the Echo Mini. Of course, it costs 4 times more, I know that, but still it sounds so much better. Like if you're on the fence between one of them and you want just to know which one has the better sound quality, the JM21 has noticeably better sound quality. It also has a lot more power too. So, it makes it ideal for driving headphones. But again, we're comparing a $200 device with a $50 one, While the GM21, in my opinion, sounds much better, the Echo Mini still holds its ground as an insanely good value for the price, and something that honestly sounds good on its own. Even when I have the JM21, I'm enjoying myself and emotionally connecting to the music when I listen to the Echo Mini. It's just a good sounding device that has a good low end, that has a lot of good clarity and detail. Just mind-boggling that this costs $50. Sure, it's not at the same level, but still enjoyable, still very detailed, still sounds great with your IM. So that wraps up my review of the Snowsky Echo Mini. So this thing gets a double thumbs up from me. For $50, this is an absolute steal. Amazing sound quality, great portability, insane value. And if you're looking for an entry-level, great sounding, powerful offline high-res music player with balanced output, transmits Bluetooth, SBC codec, frankly, the Echo Mini should be at the top of your list. I don't even think there are many options out there. This is the only one I know. So double thumbs up for me. This is a great sounding product, and I highly recommend it. That concludes my review of the Snowsky Echo Mini. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, if you like my content. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.